Hey, this is Vu, and today I'm going to be talking about playing from down a man. And this is something that a lot of people have problems with, specifically because I think a lot of people don't even recognize that you should be playing differently when you're down a man. Generally, if you just play standard, what's going to happen is they're either going to group up and overwhelm one bomb site, or they're going to go trade after trade after trade, and eventually you're going to lose the round because you were down a man in the first place. If you play standard against a team that is around your level and you're down a man, you generally should lose the round, so you need to try to think and play differently in these scenarios. Now, first off, I want to mention that this is going to be different for T and CT side, so I will mostly be going over CT side here. However, hopefully some of these ideas will transfer over and you can recognize that. Now, it's also going to be different for high and low numbers, so I'm going to be going over very specific scenarios as much as possible. Now, for 4-on-5s and 3-on-4s, which are fairly similar, you want to be going for controlled aggression to get kills or major map control. Now, controlled aggression is going to mean that generally what you want to do if you see a pro team kind of like Fnatic, what they'll often do is one side of the map will begin to turtle and the other side of the map will go aggressive. That way you're not just randomly rushing every area and trying to get frags, you're going for control of certain areas of the map. And a great place to do it on this map would be towards long A here. Now, if possible, you want to try and do aggression with 2 players. However, towards long A, this is a solo push here. Now, the reason long A is a great place to go is because, one, you get tons of map control if you get out long A. You're instantly behind mid and can get an easy flank. And second, generally, the enemy team, the terrorists, they're going to leave the outskirts of the map first when they get an entry, and then they're going to head somewhere else. So they're generally going to be leaving long or leaving B tunnels and then hitting towards cat, mid, or the other side of the map. So generally, that's why you want to be pushing the sides, not the middle. If you were to be pushing cat here, usually you're going to run into a lot of players, and it's going to be pretty tough to get a kill and get away. So pushing long is a brilliant place to push because you can get out mid, you can flank them to get an easy kill, and if you don't, this is what I'll call major map control. Now you have control of the middle of the map. You know they're either hitting B or up cat. They couldn't possibly go mid. You can rotate one off mid, double up in B, and you can flank cat or you can flank B. You have a ton of map control here. So even though you're down a man, you're still at worst at an even scenario here just because of the amount of map control you have. Now, if you were to get a pick, you'd be putting yourself back in a 4-on-4 or a 3-on-3, and you want to stay alive there. However, the unfortunate bit is even in a 4-on-4 or a 3-on-3, you're still not really in an advantage because a 5-on-5 is always where the CTs have the best chance in terms of numbers versus numbers for map control reasons. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about here is going to be a 3-on-5, and for this you want to get some major aggression, you want to give up control of some areas, and you want to focus on some gamble stacks. Now, this is going to be very important on a map like Cache. The reason I use Cache is because Dust 2 is very unique in that it has the double doors where your opponents can see you crossing, which means you can't really pull off gamble stacks quite as well as many other maps. So on this map, Cache here, you're going to be able to pull off gamble stacks if you want. Now, a good situation for a gamble stack and the most applicable situation I can think of is in a 3-on-5 when your money's low. That means you stack all 3 of your players towards one bomb site. If they go to that bomb site, you're probably going to win the round. And if they go to the other one, you just save your guns and you have a good chance at winning the next round. That way you're not splitting up where you will definitely lose the round, and you're not sacrificing guns when it's unnecessary. Just give yourself the best chance of getting as many rounds as possible throughout a halftime. Now, as for major aggression, when I say major aggression, I mean with 2 players going very aggressive and just pushing something, trying to get as many kills as possible. So a good example would be 2 players here in A. What you would do is you would give up this map control in mid. So imagine you have 1 player towards mid, 1 player towards B, and 1 player towards A. What you can try to do here is either give up A and try and double up towards mid, which, you know, definitely doesn't make that much sense in a lot of scenarios, or you could even have both players come towards A, go for a quick pop flash into A main, and then have the one player push up and just get super aggressive, trying to make sure he can come up behind them, even to the point where maybe you're running a little bit too much on the flank here, just to make sure that you're in a great position, because if the B player gets pushed, he is absolutely screwed. There's no chance there for him. So you want to get hugely aggressive to try and bring this one back and take huge risks. Don't worry about dying, because if you die, your final two members can save their guns and you are going to lose the round anyways. So you want to take those huge risks. Now, finally, for lower number scenarios, so this is going to be specifically a 2-on-3 here, and the reason I say a 2-on-3 is because generally in a 3-on-4 you can still go for some map control, but once you get into a 2-on-3 here, you really do have to give up some control of the map. Now, a great example is a map like Nuke, where you can leave ramp and outer and just turtle down on both bomb sites. But that's not always possible. So in a 2-on-3, you want to be doing either frag out spots or frag regroup spots. So you have to give up some map control, and then you do one of these two things. Now, a frag out spot would be a spot like here on Cache here on A. And what you're going to be doing here is basically trying to ensure that you get 2 kills. That way your teammate can be brought into a one-on-one and have a decent chance at winning the round. Now, of course, this isn't a perfect place. Oftentimes you're going to get 1 and die, but if you can ensure 1, at least your teammate has a chance, and if you can pretty much ensure 2 with a great frag out spot, then you're putting your team in a very good position compared to the position you were in when you were in a 2-on-3. Now, a little bit better than that in a lot of scenarios would be a frag regroup spot. Now, this seems a little bit weird, but what you want to be doing is, a good example is going to be towards B. What you can do is you play a spot like CT spawn here if you know they don't have any smokes, or you can go towards heaven. That's another pretty solid spot to go here. And what you do is you wait for them to get in sight, play a spot where they're not really going to be checking you often, get the 1 kill, and then fall back, let them get the bomb plant, take tabs on where they are in the bomb site, and regroup for a 2-on-2 retake. That way you've put your team in an even scenario. You've given up the bomb site, but you've gotten good information by listening to the bomb planner, knowing where the bomb planner went, and trying to listen for where the other guy went as well, and then going in from there. That's a great way to try to win a 2v3 here. Anyways, hopefully this video helped, and hopefully this went over, everything you needed to know here. I will try and make a video on T-side when possible, but thanks for watching, and I hope this helped.